All right, well, let's kick this off. It's 5 p.m. CET. So, hello, Luxo fam. A warm welcome to everyone joining live, and thank you for tuning in to the award ceremony of the second ever Luxo BuildUP Hackathon. I know there's been a ton of anticipation for this webinar. Uh, just by way of introduction, my name is Jonathan Wan. I lead the growth team at Luxo, and today we are also joined by, or will be shortly joined by, Hugo, our tech lead at Luxo, Yaman and Daniel, who's from the smart contracts team, and last but not least, the godfather of Pink and the co-initiator of Luxo himself, Fabian Vokasteller, who's going to be joining soon. So, round of applause for everyone joining from the team. So, I will start to share my screen. I think the video is going to turn off here, so just give me 1 second. Can everyone see it? Yeah, perfect. All right. So cool. So we've had this, this is the second time doing the BuildUP Hackathon. First and foremost, wanted to thank all of you, all of the participants for making this such an amazing hackathon, putting in all that hard work. You guys did a fantastic job of making the judges' job very hard, because the quality of the submissions this time was quite spectacular relative to previous hackathons. So for those who didn't tune in at the beginning of this journey, this is BuildUP Luxo's hackathon. We had four categories for which builders could choose from. There were 4 weeks of straight hacking, 7 technical workshops. There were 4 weekly office hour sessions, and just some cool stats about the registrants. 437 signups. It was a great turnout. 70 projects submitted. And what was really cool this time around was that the registrants came from 68 different countries. It's very, very beautiful to see, these buildups actually becoming truly global, and super excited, to see that, different groups of people coming from all over the world to start experimenting with Luxo, the tools, the LSPs. It's actually quite beautiful to see the growth in our community over the past year. So shout out to all of you guys for making all of this such a great hackathon. We hope you had fun. We hope you got to network, learn a ton about the tech, and building some really cool things that hopefully will come to fruition over the next coming years. So just going to move on to the next slide. So as mentioned before, we had 4 different tracks this time. The first one being infrastructure and tooling for the network. When it comes to the consumer DApp side, we had social and community, and then a second category called culture and entertainment, and then anything that didn't really fit into these 3 buckets were in blue sky, where we got some pretty cool and creative submissions as well. So those are the categories for this hackathon. I alluded to some of the people who joined this call today, but we had in total 8 panels. 8 judges on the judging panel. Everywhere from the lead of our tech team, which is Hugo. You had people from smart contracts such as Jean, Yamin, Daniel, Maxime, front end, back end, and also Stephen, who's the lead for a browser extension as well. And before we go into the winners, which is what we're going to go through today, which is super exciting, just going to go through some of the criteria which the judges selected the winners based on, right? So the first one being contribution to the ecosystem. What the judges were considering with respect to this factor was the impact that the project would have in attracting users to the ecosystem, and also to what extent the solution could be scaled and reach significant adoption later on. The second one being technical excellence. So the judges really paid attention to how well the projects were leveraging the LSPs in interesting ways. If the DApp was integrating universal profiles, different tools such as, or libraries such as ERC 725JS, LSP Factory, etc. and also looking at how well the code was written and documented. The third one being originality and creativity. We just wanted to see, how novel, how innovative your idea is, especially given, all the developers got a really robust set of core building blocks or infrastructure to build on. So that was something that was looked at. And of course, lastly, something that's very, very important to the Luxo, I guess, ethos is user experience and design. So, the judges were looking to see how, how easy the UX and UI was for users interacting with the dApper protocol. All right, now I'm going to hand it over to Hugo, who's going to, we can't make the screen bigger in CG. I guess not. I'm going to hand it over to Hugo to now go through the first set of winners for infrastructure and tools.
Hey, hi everyone. Hi, Jonathan. Cool, yeah. Just quickly say hi. I think also we can have a hi from Daniel and Yamen. But yeah, I see. Well, anyway, glad to have you here. It's also nice second BuildUP hackathon, but also the third one. And we saw that the level went went up also with our tools. Because we had much things outside, so hopefully it was easier. I see the first slide is already there, but maybe just Daniel Yamen can quickly say hi. Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
So yeah, cool. Well, let's go. It will be a long time, and there are lots of winners. There were lots of projects. Also, just quickly adding, we had some hackathon farmers, of course, because that's why not. We tried hard to spot them. I mean, it's quite easy, but yeah, a few of those projects were with really no value. So yeah, don't worry, they're not in the top. So yeah, let's go. I think Yaman, you want to start with this one. So it's the universal scanner.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, let's go.
Yep, I can start. Are we watching the video or not? Just so I can know. Is it
It's
live
just
on the
playing in the
screen?
background. We'll have it playing in the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I think Fabian joined now. Maybe Fabian. Okay, I can go first. So we really like the universal scanner. It was one of the highest ranking from my score. Even though the UI was not really that great, but I think for each purpose we should have many tools. So we can have our block explorer, which is now more like user friendly because we show the universal profile information with the image, with the name. But I think we really need more tools even for the same purpose. And I really liked how you can see the update, not just of the assets, but also of the profile information. So you can see the previous data and what changed. So yeah, I really liked how it can be like a platform for non-technical users to track their asset and their data for their universal profile. Yeah, but as I said, UI needs to be improved, but yeah, it's a cool project.
Yeah, just quickly, we think that explorers can level up. Maybe you have seen lately, because we do everything in UPs, it goes into like internal transaction. It's a bit hard to see, so I think everything in that category, there's a lot of room for much better experience and understanding what's happening. On this website, there are like some fake data, but still the way that it goes through the history and get all the changes is really amazing. So yeah, solid project. I think it would be really hard to go through all the projects. There's so much cool things to say about them. But yeah, I see also Fabian, you're here. Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, I mean, the interesting part about this, obviously, is the design is not as designy. But what's very interesting is that it's kind of like a more detailed block explorer, and they even integrated reading like profile data and certain type of transactions, and how it decodes them. So that's definitely something that was impressing us. Like when things get changed on your profile, or when things get done with tokens. I think even tokens were integrated. I'm not sure, but it was definitely quite complex, or quite sophisticated. So we have a lot of projects though, so we need to speed things a little. But congratulations to Universal Scanner.
Okay, nice. Oh, so second one and the tier one is the Defolio app. So it's really, I will put the link here in the chat. You will see it's an amazing wallet UI app that allows you to really manage your UP. So you will see we were very impressed by the amount of features in this short amount of time. It has a lot: token reading, permission reading, key management. Like there is a lot of things. The UI is nice, and yeah, it was really nice to see. We believe that when such tools just come, we see the power of UPs. So yeah, totally fits all the category. Solid project, and yeah, congrats. I invite.
Add a few things to this. So this is basically an app. I mean, I think we need to give a bit of context for each of these applications, because probably people haven't went through 70 projects. I mean, this is a very interesting one because it's kind of like a combination of a wallet, but also an application that allows you to manage your profile. So it's a little bit what our browser extension is doing, except that this is a full screen. It can be a bit more extensive, and it has some interesting idea of session keys. So they added basically a custom smart contract that you can add as a controller to your profile that's only valid for a period of time. That's an interesting concept. That's definitely something that we could build into the browser extension at some point. Overall, like wallet / profile manager, this guy really delved deep into the UP standard. So definitely a first prize.
Also, one thing, there was a amazing README in the project with a lot of hey, this is the limitation we had, this is the roadmap, amazing feedback. So this is also really, it shows that it's a strong team behind. So yeah, congrats, super cool.
Awesome. All right, let's move on.
Okay, I can go. So yeah, here, second prize, Lupso. Again, also solid project. Did a really good job at. So it has a developer side. So it's nice. We have the. Sorry, I shared here just in the in the chat. But yeah, it's a bridge. So it's a cool stuff. It's well made. It has SDK, and so we thought also again it fits very well our ecosystem and brings value to the users. So yeah, that's you can try. There's a testnet version here, so you can try it. And yeah, let me share the link. Yeah, loopso.xyz.
Yeah, they also added Foundry libraries for LSP7 and LSP8. I mean, I want to say one thing to bridges itself. So, I mean, I know there's a lot of people screaming about bridges, but bridges are a very difficult topic to make decentralized. And in the simple term, if you build a bridge, there's at all times a controller or a set of controllers that can unlock assets on one chain and unlock assets on the other chain. Because a bridge basically locks on one chain, unlocks on the other, locks here, unlocks on the other side, right? That's how a bridge works. That's why a two-way bridge is always bound to the assets locked on one side. So this thing is only valuable as long as these assets keep being locked, right? Or the other way around if you go back. So problem is, if that bridge is compromised, your asset on the other chain where there's not the original asset is literally worthless. So that's why bridges are a very tricky topic, and we were debating a lot, giving prizes or not. It's obviously good to see this, but audits is one thing. My mic is saturated. Can that be? Is it better? My mic is bad. Sounds fine. I'm on a MacBook. This is as good as it can get, I mean, somewhat fine. Okay. sounds loud. Maybe you reduce your volume. I mean, okay, let me check this on the side here. I think it should be actually totally fine. Better, I don't know. Yeah, you need to use the volume button on your computer, I guess. You know, maybe it's my accent. Okay, just to continue on the bridge topic. So it's tricky to make a very decentralized bridge. Decentralized bridge means that you have basically not only one person or one controller that controls the unlocking or on either side, but a decentralized process. And it's a very difficult process. When hacks happen, mostly there are bridges. So be very careful when you use bridges. It's a very complex project to get right. And so far, there is no fully decentralized bridges. But it's good to see that people are getting into, building these topics out, integrating LSP7 and our new standards. So that's definitely great to see. So that's why we moved it to a second prize. Yo. Okay. Yeah, learn Luxo. And maybe, by the way, if you want to interject on the other previous topic, but let's go to Learn Luxo. Learn Luxo was interesting because it's a combination of it's basically integrating into ChatGPT. So basically, you can have a ChatGPT bot that's trained by not only our docs, but also by transcribes of different videos that we made. Our workshops got transcribed, got all fed into ChatGPT. And if you have a ChatGPT account, you can basically just click a button and you have ChatGPT support. And you can ask them all kinds of questions about our standards, and the man, woman, or whatever the bot is, the it will explain as good as it can. And there's a lot of work that went into sourcing the data, which is that's why it was kind of a cool project to see. And we definitely need help with learning, because what we invented is a lot of things. They're quite complex. In order to make them easy digestible, they need to be they need to be easy accessible. So one really important topic for us is as well make our guide section or the learn section with very simple code snippets of how to integrate it simpler and easier, or actually add a lot more things, like how do you build certain things. But because our docs are quite extensive, you can take a lot of time reading it, but having ChatGPT answer you certain questions quickly is definitely a huge help.
Yeah, on top, we found that having the transcript of the videos that we made and putting that in the system was a smart idea. Those things that go into education, let's say, of developers is good. And we thought it was really a smart thing to do. I think it's only available for ChatGPT 4 plus users, but still, it's a start, and it definitely goes in the right direction. So, cool project. Try it if you want. That's nice. Is the sound better? I don't know if it was just Fabian or okay. Yeah, or some network stuff. Okay, cool. Well, maybe we can go to the next one.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
I think I can jump here.
Yeah,
Till
sure.
Fabian come back. So I think for this project, there is not much to show. Like, I think it's a developer tool. It's low level. So the idea of this project is to provide like a simple starter kit for developers to like start their project, start their DApp. And I think this is really a needed project, because what we care about at this stage is developers. Obviously, that's why we have a hackathon. I wouldn't say it's super perfect, but it's a very good start for the hackathon. It can be improved. We can communicate to improve it, and it's a good. I think it's a good hackathon project that will help developers to build really cool apps. So it was cool to see that.
Yeah, that's cool. We are working on something a bit similar as well. There is nothing as good as a Git clone or template clone and start to code, right? So yeah, super nice project. So congrats, OX Struct, and keep on building the building tool. Fabian, yeah, you're back. Perfect.
Yeah, there's a little bug here. If you turn off the camera, you can't return it on. So for these, yeah, exactly, for these, for the other tech people here. I mean, yeah, scaffolding, like you said. I mean, it's basically a template that helps you to kind of like start out, have already code examples. You could use this as a somewhat of a boilerplate for playing around with all the different LSPs. So definitely also cool learning section contribution. And it's Christmas cookie. That's an interesting one here. So chain trails is basically the idea to index the Luxor mainnet or Luxor blockchain. It's basically does the same what the Block Explorer does, but basically they started from scratch building the Block Explorer out. And what's interesting here is, I mean, they didn't really build a front end. They use Grafana, which is kind of like a dashboard or a way to easily create different kind of graphs and show data in a certain way. But they seem to have really pulled a lot of data in a clever way into the database and then make it queryable. So they even could show metrics like, how many profiles were created over time, even monitoring data that we don't have right now for us internally because we don't have time to build that out. So it's definitely great to see something like this, having like really like analytics data that are specific to these new standards and also integrating these new standards and not just doing the standard Block Explorer that we already have a lot. Any other feedback from you guys? Yeah, cool. All right, it's the third prize because there's no real custom front end, but it was definitely a good start. I mean, it's a lot of work. You can see that there's a lot of work in there. All right, Banana VRF. So this is quite a technical project. So basically this is a on-chain random number generator. And it basically, it's interesting because you basically build a set of smart contracts that where different kind of watcher can contribute data, and that generates a random number, and then you can integrate this into your smart contract and pull in this data every so often. And it's like an oracle. It's an oracle, but it's built a bit differently. And he also made an example with a token that generates its token ID based on the random numbers. So it's quite low level, but it was an interesting, clever idea. And I think if this gets more extended, if the whole like random number generator system gets more decentralized, so you create a whole incentive system of how people like contribute these kind of random numbers, that could be really an interesting random number generator on chain that could be then pulled in by different smart contracts. And it's different to players like Chainlink. In Chainlink, you need to request data and then it gets pulled in. I think here the idea is that it's generated all the time and you can just pull it in basically directly on demand, which you don't need to make a second loop where you say request and then retrieve, but here you can pull it directly. At least this is how I have understood it. And I think that would be really awesome if like kind of like a random number always available. All right. And then we are in the third prize category. So obviously things are a bit lower on the lower end. The decentralized relay, that's a project that's instead of a 3 minutes video, had a 26 minutes video explaining the whole thing. It's basically our relayer with a token payment system. So it's basically using the the real layer functionality that you have in your universal profile on your key manager, which is this execute relay call, but it's built around a way that you can basically token pay rather than signing up somewhere. I mean, in our relay, for example, you have to sign up and you get subsidized. In the future, you could pay with whatever other currencies. And here, there's kind of like a pre-token. And Blaja here, right here in the chat, has this running right now, so you can receive a token. I think it's called up something, or unit something, or one something. I don't remember. And then you can, use the relayer to send transactions. Uni.io. All right. So this is, it's definitely something that needs to be more decentralized over time. But it's, we very much encourage alternative relayers outside of the current one we are running, because obviously people should have choices, right? All right, then let's move on to, so that we're still in the same category. Sigma Swap is another bridge. It's similar. It's a bit different working, but it's similar to the other bridge that we saw. We preferred design-wise the other one. Design-wise the other one was a bit better, but it's same topic, bridge topic, right? Bridges are difficult to make decentralized and to get decentralized, but it was definitely worth a contribution here.
Sounds good. Now we're going to move on to the social and community prizes. So the first prize goes to Drops.
Yeah, so this is actually, so at first sight, it didn't look like much, but then once we digged a bit deeper into the way it works, it was quite impressive. So in fact, this is actually signing your messages that you're posting on this message board, you signing it with your browser extension. That also really got me to the idea that we should introduce some kind of a session signing system where you just authorize once the browser extension, and then under the hood it constantly signs using your browser extension, as long as this obviously just normal messages. And then you can have a fully decentrally signed chat app. So it means you're signing your messages directly from your profile. You can even encrypt them or decrypt them. And I think the session idea, this is really what brought in the session idea, which we also saw in the other project, the session key. There it's a bit of a different thing, but the session idea definitely came up here, when looking at these projects. And he even built a little plugin that you can put into you can put it into a blog post or website as kind of like a common system that using the same protocol. I don't remember what messaging protocol he's using. Does anybody of you guys remember what it was?
I don't remember, but one thing that we liked is that this project tried to use LSP2 JSON schema keys with custom keys for the index. I have the link here, and it's nice to see people getting into that direction of having their own keys. So yeah, it's not about the one that we set up. It's just this key value store that can be used. So yeah, that was something.
And he had a very extensive README and really delved into the depth of things here, which it was very fascinating to see this. And the way it was described, very extensive README. And actually, I think he's storing the index root. I think he's using some IPFS thing to store the messages, and he stores the index root of your message stream there, if I remember. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's even decentralized, the whole messaging system. So that project is awesome. Definitely exactly the way how to approach it. Just put a design on top and it becomes something real. All right. Yeah, here you see also the integration into the blog post. I mean, where you can have a blog, and then you can have like this kind of plugin in the bottom where you have to use and rest, like, think of like what was in the past, these kind of like comment sections, this popular comment SDKs you could put into your, I forgot the name, but yeah, definitely a great project, worth a first prize for sure. All right, let's move on to the next one, and that's UpMessage, another chat app, obviously from our already well-known friends, from Universal Page, Jake and Vlad. So this, the way of how the chat works is more centralized because it's stored in servers, but they used the whole integration into, first off, their design always looks great. That's important. It totally loads in all the profile and everything, but you can even see different kind of NFTs that you have and see the ones that you share with your chatting partner. So this is definitely something, even maybe the chat algorithm in Underwood could be changed with Matrix or something else. I think they're using the signal type encryption mechanisms. It's really a great project. I mean, everything Universal Page is dropping has always very high quality and look and feel, and that's exactly what we here are for, right? Stuff that's epic. Nonetheless, everything that's new takes time, right? So even if you have Apple dropping a new version of something, there are bugs. And that's $1 billion company. So that's just how tech is. Tech needs to improve over time. But this is a great project. Definitely congratulations to Jake and Vlad on that.
Yeah, I would just add, as always, strong UI, very nice. It makes everything cooler. And yeah, just congrats. I was looking at the messages, getting a bit distracted. The GOAT of MVP. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, super cool. Congrats, Jake and Vlad. It's another amazing project. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you look so popular. I think there was the project. No, I think there was the project where you compare the different profiles. It's kind of like a. So we're not in the second tier price category. You somehow like rate profiles against each other, but that definitely built something very custom on top of profiles. A bit of a Tinder, not exactly. It's not a matching. It's more a comparison thing.
Yeah, it has this, like the social network Zuckerberg thing where you choose left and right, but the integration with UP was really well made, and we think that there is a strong potential in this project. So it's made by student, if I recall well. Yeah, the face match, right? So yeah, this is a cool project to see, and nice. We can try, and hopefully we see more from that team as well.
Encouraging students is also very important. I think they are from Oxford, right? If I'm correctly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Tom and Tobias. On the
Oxford Blockchain Club presenting.
Blockchain Society.
Blockchain Society presenting. Yeah, so the idea basically is a popularity contest. The app, I mean, this could be extended into something really fun in the future. But also it's a simplistic app, but the execution and also the code, like Hugo said, was really well done. Or was definitely like really trying or going really more deep into our tech, which is amazing to see. All right, let's move on. Second tier prize number 1. Bitvia. That's kind of like this community organization place. They already have started in Hackathon number 1. And they now went deeper. You have basically the ability to create communities, have a fundraising mechanism in there, and have also a kind of like a token gated community. And that's definitely interesting for like, you know, people that of different, it's kind of like somewhat of a simple version of Reddit or something like this, or a forum in some way, but Web3 based and UP based, and able to read tokens and other things. Yeah, definitely something that could grow into something bigger, you know, improve the design a little bit. I think this is good to go. All right, no other opinion? Okay, then let's move on to LinkedIn. I mean, this is a bit of a fun one. I mean, the idea here is that you can give recommendations or work recommendations to other people. How would you spell LinkedIn? LinkedIn? And it was also quite like a fun design, if I remember right, like the way when you logs in. I think you possibly on okay. So you can connect your profile and give recommendations to others, and it's a bit of a fun way of how it's done. And it was also quite integrated into the Universal Broker tech stack. So this is definitely actually a really good third price. I mean,
yep. I also want to add here, I really liked how they used LSP8 for the reputation. Obviously, reputation should be expanded to its own standard, but like they use tools, even I think ERC725JS. Probably with the messages, not everything needs to be on chain. This could be a conversation that we can have later. But yeah, the use of the tools, LSP8, ERC725JS, and the integration with Universal Profile is cool. And design-wise, it was also good.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Yeah, reputation standard we need, but we need to think it out really well. So I have some ideas, something I want to spend some time in the next few months. Needs to be done right. Yes, it is. LSP7, LSP8 should be pretty much ready to go. Pop up. Yeah, so, okay, this is kind of like a, how you call that? A POAP. No, a proof of attendance. POAP. Yeah, exactly. A proof of attendance is a POA protocol. And yeah, they built this website where you can basically create an event and you can get then connect to an event. And they have even a ticket system. And what's really interesting here is they even have the ticket verification side. So you have a mobile app that scans a QR code and can verify that a certain ticket is valid. So that's pretty cool. I mean, anything that has to do with events can grow massive, especially when we're talking about, you know, music, electronic music, you know, festivals, whatever not, you know. I mean, if you collected or earned the token of a certain artist, maybe a tool like this then easily can let you into backstage, because all you need to give to the guy on backstage, you know, the security guy, is like a phone or like an app. He needs to visit a certain website and then he can verify who can get in and who cannot. So that's definitely going in the right direction. Good stuff. Oh yeah. So this one didn't submit the video, and at first it looked like, oh, this is a GitHub repository. But then when you digged into the GitHub repository and you checked out the app and everything else, it was actually quite well done and quite well designed. It's basically a simple, I mean, like universal page, you know, a simple present your profile kind of website. Quite well done in the design. I mean, it's simplistic. We're in the third place category here. But he really went all into UP, and it was very easy. And the cool thing is, you know, testing these apps was so seamless because we already have universal profiles. So all we needed to do is just click a button and we could instantly see how it looks like and if it works. it was not really, complicated to get and test out these apps, which was fun, especially when there's 60 or 70, right, to test. So all right, yeah, congratulations to everyone so far. Anyway, you guys did a great job, everybody who contributed. Yeah, the Earth sandwich, that's a very interesting one. So basically, he wanted to make a sandwich with the Earth. So the idea is like two people around the Earth can basically meet and create an NFT out of their meeting, right? One is in the top and the other is in the south, and then you have an Earth sandwich. I mean, it was very fun done. I mean, this video was very sophisticatedly done. He probably spent like 90% of the time on the video. And also the web design itself was kind of fun made. I mean, looked quite, funny. And you can make these little sandwiches where you just have a meet with a total stranger, and then you can like mint an NFT together to form your Earth sandwich. Does it make sense? I don't know, but it definitely looked fun and was fun.
Yeah, this project was very fun. I think what was interesting is to see interaction between two universal profiles users. So when we tested, we also had like, hey, I initiated a transaction or something, an action, and then we will ask someone else in the team, hey, can you please react to that? And we thought it was a good way to just demonstrate that two people who have like a profile can interact through some contracts. So yeah, I guess the sandwich is more like the meme part of it, but it has some. It's interesting to see UPs being used to have actions together. So yeah, it's good.
Awesome. So that concludes the prizes for social and community. Congrats, everyone, in that category for all the hard work. And now we're going to move to culture and entertainment.
Yo. And the winner is
Boom.
actually Fidgetal. And that's an interesting project because this person actually full on integrated LP8 with a lot of NFTs. So, sorry, NFTs, NFC, NFC chips, NFTs. And basically made a full-on proof of. Am I not getting this right? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He also made obviously a strong video here. Well, basically, he actually made a full proof of concept with different type of with chips and all those different ways of claiming them and interacting with the chips. And he built a mobile app and a web front end to do that.
Yeah, it's a massive project. I invite everyone to look at the video. There is a hardware, software, everything in between. There's a lot of work here, and
including transferring a UP from a desktop app into the mobile app.
Yeah.
So he really delved right into all the depth of what you can do, and so you can do a lot more things. But he really used. He really went for it. I mean, and it's very impressive to see. I mean, the full verification, and then he ran through all the different ways of how you can. This is a very great proof of concept of using actual chips to interact with or to smart contracts.
If you can ship some chip here so we can try it live, that's cool. But yeah, hopefully you can continue working on that. It's amazing. So congrats. I don't know how to say the name. Is it 2Z? But yeah, congrats. Super cool. Very, very amazing. Strong winner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tushi. Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay, let's move on to the next. Yeah, the other first prize is actually new sport. We had that already evolving from the last hackathon, and in the previous one it was like a large concept and a lot of things done in design. Now they implemented it And at first it looked like, okay, an implementation, can be improved in terms of, the animations and stuff like this. But they actually went quite deeper than we thought. They even integrated these private news boards using what was the system again? Loti, some kind of different like private node system where they store these private news boards.
It was a lit protocol.
Lit, yeah, something like this. And he also wrote them, I think, in the profile itself as a data key, which is, shows the power of data keys. I mean, I already see the future of, cleaning up your Windows registry on your universal profile. So we need cleaning tools to then clean your profile from all these stuff that apps added. So be slow adding stuff to your profile, but it definitely went far more extensive, than it initially looks like. So this is a well-deserved winner, and also a project that I would love to see coming to fruition, especially with a buyable NFT standard where you can buy and sell an NFT wherever you see it. Literally, websites like this turn into marketplaces as well. So that's very fitting towards the development or the future of Luxo itself. So congratulations, Fico and the other guy or the other guys. And happy birthday too, which is soon, right? Shashank. Shashank. All right, cool. Yeah, congratulations. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, so another kind of like workhorse to me thing. We're now in the second prize category. That was, I need to think again. Is it a video or is it just a picture? Jonathan?
Yeah, we didn't have the video, so it's just a picture.
Yeah, I mean, there's 70 projects, guys, so you have to forgive us, with knowing all the details again on each. But I mean, this was basically a work project, and if I remember right, it was quite funny done. But actually,
yeah, it's the content is mainly in the README, the GitHub README. So it's something to create bounties. So you can issue bounties from your profile and then just get them. I think it was well made, and there was work done on the smart contract side as well. I need to find my notes, but yeah, it was a nice project.
Yeah, I remember again. Also, the idea was also that you create a project and then work is done on the project, and then you later reward people for completing the work, and that can include a token. I don't remember it was an LSP7 or an LSP8 as kind of like your proof of work. And this kind of like decentralized work sharing and work reputation systems, especially when they involve the whole project cycle, like from, hey, I have this job to offer, to, hey, he has done it, and now he gets the reward and he gets the compensation. That's definitely something that makes a lot of sense in the future.
It was done on with the LSP8. LSP8, I share here in the chat the code. So yeah, real attempt to use our stuff. So that's cool. And yeah, LSP8 assets. So yeah, it's a good surprise.
So congratulations, and it was also quite funny design. All right, let's move on to the next project. Haute Veritas. Is this correct, Hugo?
Haute Veritas, yeah. Haute, I guess.
So this is a project where that integrates obviously fashion pieces and things. Yeah, I remember. So this is about actually verifying fashion pieces preemptively, uploading proof and certificates, creating an NFT for something that you already have. The app itself was quite MVP design, but I think this is definitely something that fits once in the fashion, physical fashion direction in this case. Something that we have also explored within Luxor in the past a lot. I think this is very interesting because it probably gives. This is something that could be extended to something that's even integrated directly by the brands. I think it's all about really getting the tech right, in my opinion, and then getting the right people on board. But in this case, it even works as something as this kind of self-certification service. So, also need to embrace the fashion here, right? Here now this is the app.
Yeah, also like when looking at the code, there's also, it's really strong, solid project, lots of work behind it. There are smart contracts which are coming from LSP8. You see here full system to build those contracts, UP integration in the front end. So it's I would say almost the full stack, right? From the extension to the smart contract. So this is really cool stuff, and we support 100%. And again, it's also in a good industry where our roots are. So definitely, congrats for Haute Veritas. Yes.
Yeah, as Hugo said, even though the idea, even though the UI is not that great, but like the idea is great in my opinion, and the use of LSP8 was really good, even they got the simple LSP4 token stuff good. So yeah, I think even if the UI is not super great, like getting the tech right is the most important for a hackathon project.
Yeah, just share the link of the contracts if anyone is interested, for the nerds here. Okay, I think we can go to the next one. Yeah.
So N3 Snap, there were a lot of projects contributed by, what's the name again?
Zin CVL.
No, but the Hong Kong man.
Zen, ZEN.
Canvas Land, exactly. Hong Kong, sorry, man. No. Hong Kong, okay? I said Hong Kong, yeah. No, but he's really like in our community since a long time, and he did a lot of projects. Obviously, they are coming more from the 3Ds direction, right? In 3D world building and Unity and other things. The technical integration, so there were a few, there was this Unity connector that we tried out. There was like a lot of projects that were in that direction. The Snap idea is basically quite interesting because the idea of like taking photos and instantly tagging a photo with properties that you put into an NFT. I think what I think in the future will happen, everything that you capture in some way will be somehow blockchain verified. And in fact, even for decentralized journalism, you want something in the future where you can prove that that photo was taken at that point in time, at that location, by that person, right? Even though this doesn't go exactly in this direction, it kind of has these ideas in it in a more fun way, gamifying these picture taking. And yeah, it's something that's early stage. We're in the third prize category here as well. And we definitely also honor all the other projects that Sen committed. There were quite a lot. And making these videos and everything, there was a lot of work put in here. And also we appreciate you being the outreach in Asia. And that's definitely also very appreciated. So congrats for the third prize. Yeah, now I need to think about what was UpDev again.
This was similar to Workfolio. It was about like having your resume and your developer experience on your profile. They tried to do it on Polygon. They tried to have the browser extension run on another network, which was interesting, I would say.
Yeah, that was definitely a bit of a fun one. And they really integrated stuff, but somehow they used the wrong network. I don't know what you want to do there. But
Yeah, we found it fun to see a Polygon mainnet Mumbai in the top. So that's also why it's the third. But yeah, there were good ideas behind, and we thought that those ideas could apply here as well. So yeah, there's quite a lot.
I mean, there's definitely. I mean, I'm not sure if the video is going further, and then you can see a bit more of the app, which was definitely well designed and also. It's already over. I mean, it's definitely an interesting approach, and I think that the whole decentralized work culture. I think this is something that will definitely happen. You know, that's part of the creative economy, decentralized work culture. I guess it's what we need. All right. Yeah. Yeah, athletes. Yeah. So this is an interesting one, and actually they made quite an effort on the design. You know, they designed this platform, and they built the basic MVP, which didn't look exactly like this, but it was a very bare bone. They had some issues with some of the standards and integrations, so that's why they didn't really complete a lot of the backend work. But the idea is basically you have a platform where you can follow and contribute to an athlete, and the idea is basically that you can support an athlete either through donations, and maybe the athlete in the future could even give some fan tokens or some tokens of himself out that will have whatever value or purpose in the future. And the whole concept itself was quite extensively designed. Sadly, the video seems to be pretty slow or stopping. Not sure, Jonathan, if you can skip a bit in the middle of the video. I'm not sure if it's possible. Yeah, and then basically, the idea is every athlete can basically say, hey, sponsor me, and then can give different perks of why people should sponsor them. And
yeah,
I mean, it's also
yeah. Also, there is a very strong README in that project with the challenges we ran into. So it demonstrates really they worked strongly, and we read the comments. Thank you very much. Sorry for the issues, for outdated documentation. We are working on that, but yeah, this is also very appreciated. It's kind of a side of the project, but it's really stuff that we consider because we also use those hackathon time to improve, and those feedback coming straight from devs is very, very valuable. So yeah, thanks for this as well.
Yeah, and really the idea of I mean, the thing is the creative economy and basically the rest of the world. There's a lot of areas that blockchain can touch into, and I think it's very interesting to see things in the direction of sport, obviously music. We want to broaden a little bit the Web3 community, away from just the DeFi, degen. Right. I mean, I almost feel old, not exactly understanding the difference between degen and regen and whatever degenerates exist there. My mic. I mean, I have sincerely a MacBook mic. Hugo, does my mic sound bad?
Yeah, it's very saturated, but maybe it's the network or some compression or whatever, or it's in post mode.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, I don't think it's.
Can you hear me now?
When you refresh.
Can you hear me now? Is it different because I lowered the volume now?
Yeah, I mean,
think it's better.
Yeah, it's okay. But
I mean, this is because I did definitely changed it now.
It's saturated. Like it really has this interesting sci-fi mode filter on top. No, isn't it one of those
But
Mac
this,
thing where you can add some stuff with the mic? Voice isolation or what?
no, no, I just changed. I mean, no. I mean, what I can try.
I don't know, but yeah.
Now,
One quick note.
because
Someone said when I refresh the page, the sound is good. Then it changes. Maybe it's on the way.
I think it's definitely a problem
Some
because
compression somewhere. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah,
Okay. Well,
One
let's
quick
put the
note on
next
this.
one.
I think it's.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead, Daniel.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's just the idea to. We should emphasize the fact that it's important to create ways of connecting the creators, or in this case, the athletes, with the supporters, and to provide an easy way for them to connect, right, and to benefit each other. So maybe there's a lot of small athletes that just start and they provide good content and they do really cool stuff, but it's hard to get an audience, right? So I feel like these projects can fill in this gap.
yes, and I changed my mic again. So yes, I mean, everything here is early stage, guys. You're in the early stage of the early stages of early stageness. So, just just live with that. All right, cool. Let's.
Yeah, it's hard to focus with this chat. It's cool. Okay, let's go with the next one. We are good time wise. Yeah. Okay. Yes, it's the one with the Spotify thing. Yes.
Yeah.
With the stream.
So this is a very interesting project. I mean, it's a third prize because some of the development is missing, but the idea is actually great. So basically, the idea is basically that you connect to your current streaming services, which are basically Spotify and whatever, and then you have a server that listens to what you're listening to in your different devices, and then you can, as an artist, say, okay, I want to sign up or I want to connect to the Streamgate protocol, and now people can basically pay these artists directly, a little bit like Patreon, but based on your listening habits. So I think this is a massive idea. If done executed right, this is huge, because it really moves away the money making economy for artists out of these current existing platforms while piggybacking on them, which is kind of funny. Because on the end, I think there's a lot of people who are very willing to give money to the artists they like, and ideally doing this in some way that it's that it's for them seamless, right? And it has to be ideally totally seamless. And then these artists can do a lot more, because right now, I mean, in YouTube, it's the same problem, right? You have millions of views, gives you no money. You have millions of listens in Spotify, gives you no money. I mean, it's kind of crazy how much these platforms take away from that. So if we can decentralize this, I mean, everybody's going to switch. I mean, sooner or later. And then we can have true decentralized music streaming platforms. There's actually Audacity or something like this, that's going already in the right direction. But, people are habit people, so they stick where they are. And if you can piggyback on that, even better. So, audios, exactly. Exactly. All right, congratulations, Streamgate, for the third prize for hopefully making an amazing app in the future out of this. Concept is already pretty dope. All right.
All right, congrats to everyone in culture and entertainment, and we are at our last and final track, which is Blue Sky. First prize winner, the Universal Grave.
I'll let you talk about the Universal Grave.
Yeah, I can jump here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you well.
Cool. Yeah, yeah, for this project, I was looking at this project with Hugo, and like the amount of joy that we felt when looking at this project was really great. Personally, I felt so much joy because I always try to chill the LSP1 Universal Receiver standard and what you can do with it, and now combined with all of these other standards. So the combination was great. So just to give an overview of what this project does. So when someone sends you a token, this spam token or whatever token will go into a vault that you own. So it will not directly sit on your profile, but rather a vault that you own. So that's why it's a grave, because it's a grave of the assets that you didn't want. And then not just that, but you can revive these tokens from the vault. So yeah, design-wise, it was really great. The idea is really clever. The use of LSP is to the fullest. So yeah, I really like the project. It's a 10 for me.
Yeah, this. Go ahead, Phil.
I want to add one hint here. In the beginning, you have to give permissions. Never overgrant permissions. He's giving way too much permissions that are not necessary. But once you connected it, basically, you can define a certain set of tokens, token contracts that you can whitelist, or you could even do a blacklist version where you say certain kind of tokens are, if they're on the blacklist, they go directly into your grave. And obviously in the future, we can have a community maintained registry of like spend tokens and whatnot. And then people can just subscribe to them in some way, and then they nicely go into a grave. And yes, Ethalorian, maybe they could be somehow coming back as zombies. Like back in the day, we had the unicorn token, which is the token that Alex, my former colleague from the Mist browser, he created the unicorn token. And then at some point, and I think maybe that's the birth of DeFi, by the way, he took the unicorn token and moved it into a shredder, and out came the unicorn meat pieces. And that was, using one token to create and issue another token automatically, probably the birth of DeFi back in the day. So maybe we will make out of these tokens some kind of like clusterfuck and call it a zombie. Lots of things are possible. You can also resurrect them, by the way, in case you definitely wanted to have them.
I will quickly add, this project is really nice because it's simple, it has a nice design, it's fun, it's well executed, and it's on a side that we didn't see yet from anywhere. It really plugs into the universal profile and adds the features there. The UPs are very complex system, and this goes into using those more advanced features that we don't even know about somehow. So it's really cool. I think it deserves totally a win for all those reasons. So yeah, congrats.
Yes, absolutely. Congrats. I definitely like that we have to chat now directly in the calls and not anymore on YouTube, with some kind of 5 levels of separation here. So yeah. Definitely up, Florian, and you guys, you're rocking here with our new 3D, the 3D Web3 space.
And also, just as Fabian said, be careful with the permissions, because again, this project starts with like, give me all the permissions. Be careful on the project side, and on the other side, you want to be really careful with that. This is something new that we are maybe not used with EOAs, because there's no such thing as permission, but be careful even when you try hackathon projects to not give all the permissions on your profile, because who knows. Be careful.
Very important. So if you are ever going to an app and the app requests permission, read those permissions and think 100 times if you want to give them to that app, because it might just empty everything. So read. Okay, Lookstar. Please play the video. That would be great. Wow, full screen. Yeah, so this is a funny name, but actually this app was quite cool. If I remember right, this. So this is kind of like a fundraising platform.
Crowdfunding thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a crowdfunding platform. So basically, you can create a project a crowdfunding project. This is basically, I think you have to even issue a token for the project right away, and then you can crowdfund it. There's another one that would use the reversible ICO. I'm not sure if that got a price or not. I'm not sure right now, but that one should integrate the reversible ICO for sure. That would be epic, and it also really looked pretty decent, which was also pretty nice. So, and crowdfunding is definitely something that we will need. Though, Arjan, I see you're here, the man. Legal is important, right? So maybe we will help with some, workshops or consultation hours where people can ask some certain questions just to get a bit of a basic understanding. Legal is important, obviously, especially when you do token crowdsites. I think the reversible ICO would be a great tool here because that gives a lot more safety for investors that buy into a project. Yeah, that's mainly it. And make it decentralized, most importantly. So congratulations. Yeah, definitely a very nice looking project. Quite sophisticated. All right, let's move to, and this is the first prize here, by the way. This is the second first prize after the grave, right? Because it looks so well done. So, Arjan, here, you're all here, the winner. Yeah, so this looked a bit funny, but on the end it was quite cool. But can you just play the video? Need a bit of a refresher. Yeah. So this was basically an auction for different kind of items. And even though the website didn't look that, like next level, it was quite sophisticated done. The whole auction system of how you can put something for auction, and the only thing that's a bit of a downside, he used the Dutch auction from Gnosis, which I personally always found the worst auction system in human history. I don't know. I just find it random, not good. But maybe there's better auction systems because it's very hard to understand auction system also, this Dutch auction system. But this is quite a sophisticated project, and he built the whole thing to set up the auctions, set up the items. Also one recommendation: if you are using custom smart contract function and you want them to look nicer in the browser extension, you can go to 4-byte dictionary, add your function, and then at least will show a proper function name and everything else. And obviously in the future, if certain projects become popular and certain methods and functions become more commonly used, we will integrate a nicer interface for that as well. This is just not something that can be automatically done because we're talking about, smart contracts that can all build whatever. No, the Lookstar project doesn't use the reversible ICO. There was another project that did, actually. Then the Dutch auction was in the Lookstar. Okay, so maybe I confused that. Sorry, that was not this project. Just because this has the word auction in it. But this is basically auction. But you can add bits. Yeah, this is just a standard bidding system here. Yeah, you can add bits and so on the end, then it resolves when the time is over. Sorry, I mixed this up. The Dutch auction is then in Lookstar, which is confusing. All right, yeah, great second prize. Do you guys want to add something? All right. Cool, then let's move on to the next one.
This is the reversible ICO one, I think.
Now we have the reversible ICO. Yes. So this is also a crowdfunding platform. Not so well looking like Lookstar. Yeah, can you just play the video in the background? Oh, He's talking. Okay, there's someone talking. But you can basically have a whole cycle of creating projects and so on. I mean, it's also good looking, by the way. I think on the end, the difference was when we looked at the code. Even though I did prefer the reversible ICO one, but there was something on the complexity on the code which made the difference, but I don't remember right now. But you can also create a full project. I want to say something to this. Yeah, one thing I want to say to this is the reversible ICO is also another like legal topic. So depending on how you set up your entity and whatever structure and country and whatnot, also for the project itself, the reversible ICO is not something where people give tokens that are held by the project and then reverse them. It's actually more like buying over time. And that's a big difference legally, because otherwise you're a bank, and that will put you into needing a banking license. So the smart contract actually does not give access to the tokens unless they're buying them over time. And it's kind of like, imagine you have an automatic deduction account. So that's how it's built, and that's how it should be also then described to people. But yeah, that's also a great project because it's the reversible ICO resurrected, something that, makes a lot of sense.
Also, just to add here, looking at the code, it was great to see the integration of some of the LSP that we didn't expect to be used, like LSP 20 is not, it's a fairly new standard, I would say, but the integration was really great to see, like with different verifiers. But yeah, I think, Fabian, you had some comments regarding the ICO that's the reversible ICO. That's why it ended up at second. Otherwise, it was also good looking.
Yeah, absolutely. So the sound thing is sometimes happening for each one of us randomly. So now Jan has the bad sound for me, at least. I think there's something with like the sound threshold. It's just whatever. But you guys are fixing that. We trust in you, exactly like the good old Godman lawyer. All right, let's go to the next one. So congratulations to CrowdUp. So Luxo Swap or Lux OS WAP. This is another, no, this is a funny one. Yeah, so this is where you swap tokens and NFTs.
Yeah, it's this project when we can deposit to, if some people want to make a transaction, like I will swap those 2 NFTs for those 3 NFTs. It goes in some staging contract, and there's this really nice UI. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you can literally like say, hey, I have these 3 NFTs. Do you want to swap them with, your 2 or your 1 single NFT that you got? The idea itself is really well done. We looked at the code. There were certain parts. And even, by the way, they even use our index or search box. Funny enough. So this was definitely also a great project, something that could be definitely evolving to something bigger. I think swapping NFTs in the future, people would like to do that. Yeah. We definitely need to integrate more of the LSP7 and LSP8 benefits, not just the plain standard itself. Obviously, the project wasn't fully done. Like seeing, for example, the swap and confirming the swap, you don't see which NFTs there are. But yeah, I mean, it's a work in process. All right, let's move on to the next project. LLP, the Luxo Lending Protocol. Yeah. Yeah, so this is actually more like a proof of concept in a simplistic way, but it's a full-on lending protocol that issues its own token based on the lending amount that it has staked inside. And you can create your own stable coin if you will.
Also, in this one, there was in the code there was a good attempt in using the LSP smart contract. So that's cool, like under the hood. But there was a really an attempt, and we liked that. It's the mintable versions of the LSPs, but yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I can share the link.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the third price category now. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the last one, but this is also an interesting one. I mean, this is this is an NFT marketplace that they want to evolve into the whole Luxo universe. They had a bit of struggle with the universe universe profile integrations. So that's why it's a third price category, because they couldn't fully figure some things out. But the concept itself is a cool concept, and I think.
Yeah, again, as you said, Fabian, on this one, there's also nice feedback. LSP standards are fundamentally different from ERC 721, so they had to get more familiar with it. But yeah, they looked at the stuff, so that's cool. They spent some time to understand the JSON schema and how to use it. So yeah, things are a bit different that way, but we think it's better. So yeah, it's nice to see people getting into this way of doing NFTs, let's say. Yeah. Share the link.
Yeah. But the glitch in the matrix was fixed very easily here. Did you guys update from your central power? Auto code update injection. All right. Yeah, that's definitely a cool project. I mean, we're seeing now that like a lot of the projects are more around the actual standards, universal profiles, and things around that, and the Luxor community, which is definitely something that we are very happy to see. I mean, also, and I think this is a bit more unique to other hackathons. I mean, when people build in other chains, because everybody uses the same old. It's more or less kind of always a bit more similar, and here we have the ability to really like experiment with a whole new way of doing things. And the integration, obviously, of profiles is something that I think should be emphasized more, because now you actually have a profile out of the box, which is also your blockchain account and wallet. So, yeah, I mean, the future is great. I think this is definitely going to be very fun to watch evolving. Definitely keep in mind that Rome is not built in a day. Nothing happens from today to tomorrow. Actually, my camera is gone. I'm a black box. I can't turn off my camera. Early stage, man. Early stage here. So at least you can hear me.
Yeah.
So yeah, the cool thing is that this is going to grow over the next few months and years, and everything started early. Everything started simple. I mean, in the early days of Ethereum, 2015, 16, things were simple. It grew to the biggest chain there is. Now comes Luxo. So things take the time they take, but if done right, they eventually grow to the size they will grow.
There is one last thing.
Another one, Jonathan?
Yeah, one last. I think
there's one last one.
Yeah.
Third prize. Let me just move to it. Ignite.
Ignite. Yeah. So, find my note.
This is another crowdfunding. Actually, so the thing is, we put it in the third prize category. I think this was something to be added last minute. This is just a basic crowdfunding platform, where in this case, crowdfunding platform takes 5%. This was also, it was not bad done. I mean, that's why this was the third prize. I mean, it was obviously we have to always look at things in comparison, to other projects, but it was definitely not one of the worst ones. That's why it won the prize. So.
Yeah, and that's it. For I don't know what are the next slides, Jonathan.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the winners.
Okay, I don't have here. Okay, let me rejoin.
Okay, cool. Yeah, in the meantime, thanks everyone. I think it's cool. Hopefully, I mean, you can judge that this edition was much stronger than the last one, and obviously, hopefully less than the next one. So it's cool to see those projects coming and yeah, getting this feedback. So have fun, play with those projects, and hopefully the people behind those projects can also continue working on them and make strong projects as we've seen in the previous hackathon. So yeah.
Yeah, I also want to say thank you for everybody participating. This is definitely, I mean, every hackathon we have seen was kind of like a gradual improvement over the previous one. And every one kind of like always got some projects out of it that then on the end grew to something bigger. I mean, Universal Page started in the first one, right? I mean, it will be quite a project probably soon to go live. And I think there's also a lot of people building that are not part of hackathons and that are not like even known to us or that active in the community. And sometimes, and also what we should not forget is it is extremely easy to migrate to Luxo. Like anything that you have built right now and you realize that you're in the wrong place in Polygon, Luxo might be your new home. You definitely want to integrate the new token standards, and you obviously definitely want to integrate loading a profile picture at least, right? So I think at some point we will have an Insudus or an Exodus from the other chains. But let us first get, the house in order, and then they all can come, and we can have a big meal, right? How they would say, I guess. All right. I mean, also thank you, Florian, for providing the platform here, and you guys, for everybody behind the team, for making this happen. I mean, it's epic to work on the cutting edge with the cutting edge, on the cutting edge, by showing the cutting edge projects. You couldn't get more close to the cliff. Yeah. I mean, thank you, everybody, for participating. Congratulations for
Okay, cool. Just again, thanks everyone. Thanks Florian also for the Common Ground hosting. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks for the community as well. It's really nice, really motivating. Also sometimes a bit distracting during the chat or during the workday, but it's cool, right? So yeah, thanks everyone for being around. It's always a how to say in French I would say un plaisir, a pleasure to see those projects, and hopefully there are much more coming. So yeah, thanks everyone for this.
Yeah, thank you also from my side for being here. And I just wanted to ask all the builders who participated in the hackathon to consider opening a community on Common Ground if you want to continue building and publish updates there. Get in touch with people, get more support for their project. So Common Ground is the Luxo ecosystem. Really, on Common Ground is the place to be. So consider opening a community. It would make us very happy.
Awesome, thank you, everyone.
I just want to add here, yeah, kudos to everyone who participated in the hackathon. For the people who didn't qualify, it's okay. We will have more hackathon in the future, and you should be motivated from the fact that some of the previous hackathon projects started with just a simple Figma board, and now they went and they took the first prize. So yeah, thank you for everyone who participated, and yeah, we took the feedback accordingly. Thank you, everyone.
And also, not to forget, it's a huge amount of work to do all the things that we're doing within Luxo and releasing and building and watching 70 projects at the same time and judging them. So let's not forget, there's a lot of time spent in that as well. So awesome, guys. Thanks so much for the. I mean, maybe someone from the community wants to come up and ask a word?
If anyone wants to come up on stage, there should be an option to raise your hand. Probably.
Who can accept?
I mean, everybody, I think Jonathan does accept, but we need to make sure that we talk one by one, I guess.
Yeah, here.
Let's see how much we can get until we crash the app.
Yeah, there's Jean even. You wanna? Okay, let's do it in order.
From the top, maybe protocol learner, you wanna speak?
Oh yeah, let's go. Maybe you need to authorize the video and the thing, so there might be some setup here.
Hello.
Hey.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Nice. I would rather speak in French, but that's fine. I'm the winner of Seon Prize, the Luxo auction website, and I'm here to say a very huge thank you to the judges. This must have been a lot of work to review all the projects and see what people has made. So a very huge thank you, and thank you to the Luxo network. I think it's a thing to the future. The LSPs are very nice, and just a little bit of criticism. LSPs can be very huge when you make contracts with them. Originally, in my project, I was going to use volts, and you can do it because of the size of the contract, so it won't fit into the chain. So I have to cut this part down, but otherwise, very nice, and that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, you probably would have them to think a bit more into how to modularize the contracts. And also, importantly, is you probably want to use the minimal proxy when you deploy contracts. So you deploy your contract one time, that maybe cost you 2-3 million gas, and then you only use minimal proxies pointing to that code, and that costs you 60,000 gas. So then every new, I don't know, NFT or whatever you deploy is 60,000 gas versus 2 million. The other thing is, when you do that, be sure to build your contract in such a way that nobody can destruct or kill the original code contract. Otherwise, you have the parity hack problem. So be very aware of that.
Yes, but yes, I realized the size was a problem at the end of the project, not at the beginning. So that's why I have to cut it down. If not, yes, of course, you proxy your contracts, and of course, one small contract calls 2-3 other smaller contracts. Okay, but thank you for the tip. I will take that into account at the beginning, not at the end of the project, so I can implement it early. Thank you.
Thank you for participating.
Protocol learner, would you like to come up next? Or potentially John Evans?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Hi. Yeah, just one of the hackers that worked on Lupso, the bridge. Yeah, I just want to kind of say a couple of words. So first off was, massive thanks to the whole team for organizing this hackathon. I know like how tough it is organizing these hackathons, especially like 1 month long ones, and developers working weekends, answering feedback and questions. So really appreciate that from the team. Second of all, we won a second prize, which is huge for us. Like, we're really happy and very excited to continue building this. Like for us, Lupso as a bridge doesn't stop, us from being a centralized bridge and wanting to convert that to a decentralized bridge eventually. But that's something for discussion. But the first thing I want to mention to you guys was, one thing which we really, really were eager about was not like the prize money, but just getting the chance to hop on a call with the team. I think that was like one of the perks for winning first prize. So as a huge request and huge ask from the team, would that be possible for second prize winners such as ourselves?
And absolutely. I mean, we can definitely if you have some, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're always willing to help. Even if you have no price. This is just a question of organizing it time wise. And it's all just a matter of time. But I think we can definitely make this happen especially because you guys building a bridge. It's important to think this and to make it right. Someone has a weird ringtone here. Sounds like a 90s mobile phone. Okay, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I guess coordinate through Jonathan probably, and we can bring some people in, and then yeah, we are happy to help.
Yep, sounds good. We can touch base. Cool. Is there anyone else? Don't
There was a protocol learner, but I think the sound is not working well.
Yeah.
And then Fico.
Yeah.
Hey, hi.
Hello everybody. First of all, congratulations for all the work you guys have been doing for all these years. It's amazing to see everything coming to fruition. And I just want to share a thought, which is regarding the target of all these projects that we are developing here in the community, which are mainly focused on the crypto natives. And I think that one of the huge powers of the LSPs are the possibility of making the blockchain disappear, the blockchain interaction disappear. So it would be great if people start thinking also about developing applications or services that are targeting Web2 people. Your father, your grandfather, if still alive, whoever is not a crypto native, because otherwise we are targeting niche communities, and if we want mass adoption, we have to think about mass adoption targets. I have a few ideas, and I'm sure that a lot of people can come up with great ideas. And as a little advice, I would say that it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to create the next decentralized Twitter, but you can start with services that anyone would find interesting to use. That's it. And have a really nice Christmas, whoever is going to celebrate that, and if not, just vacation or whatever, just enjoy life.
Thank you, Fico. Thanks for all the work. All right, then let's try now Jack, I guess, or
yeah, Jack.
Thank
you, sir. Yeah, thanks, Luxo. Thanks, the team. Thanks, the Common Ground squad here. I just wanted to jump up and say, everyone will call it a pop enough. So thanks for hosting the event. And Luxo is making blockchain exciting and fun again. So that's really what it's about. And I think when we bring in the true average user through different, proofs of participation or digital events, physical events, I think that's when we can get those people that just want to interact with the services that a DApp provides, and like owning the actual profile out. And it's definitely the future. Happy to be here and very, very thankful that pop-up won third place.
Thanks, Shaq. I'm sure everyone had fun, but for the team, hackathons are extremely fun for us, especially for the tech team who's been building for and thinking all night, all day about these LSPs, and to finally, see them in the wild and how people are experimenting with them. I think it's, it's extremely rewarding for a lot of the members of the team, and extremely fun to watch and to be a part of. So, yeah.
Yeah, I fully agree. Okay, we have Kirill Little Killer. Kirill Little. Cool. Okay, it's your stage. If you get your microphone to work, you need to allow it first and stuff. There's a few steps.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
So I'm Kirill, and I'm the hacker behind Luxo Lending Protocol, LLP. So I just had a question. Well, first of all, I want to thank the Luxo team for organizing such a great hackathon and having this great ecosystem. So I had a question whether Luxo is interested in heading perhaps towards more decentralized finance, because well, I'm new to the Luxo ecosystem, but I haven't seen many DeFi projects being built.
So that's on purpose, actually. I mean, on the end, you can build whatever you want. I mean, as long as you get a community, right? But the idea of Luxo or the ecosystem is more to really move away a bit more from the financial aspects of blockchain and bring in the social aspect of blockchain. I mean, obviously, in any kind of, when you have people interacting in the world, there's always some financial aspects to it, right? Should it be work payments or, lending makes sense, should it be lending for work payment or creative or artists? I mean, DeFi definitely has a role to play, and it will be on Luxo, so feel free to build, but it shouldn't be the center stage because it's like just lending is just, I mean, you need all the rest around it, and ideally you need all the rest around in a decentralized way, and then having these DeFi building blocks as well gives you great abilities to do cool stuff. But just DeFi, that's exactly what calls in all the regulators and makes everybody, hyper cautious and whatever. I mean, and it's also, I mean, look at all the hacks that happen. I mean, this is always a DeFi protocol or bridge. I mean, that's just two that happen right now. But yeah, nonetheless, you obviously feel free. I mean, it's a bit on purpose to kind of keep this a bit more out.
Right. I got it. Thanks.
But thanks for contributing in your work.
Sure.
All right. So we have
Squared. Hey guys, I'm the co-founder at BuildUP. We built the Rico crowdfunding platform, and I'd like to say thank you guys for hosting the hackathon, because without this, we wouldn't have had this idea. And we really loved building BuildUP, and we're very excited for what more we could add to the Luxo ecosystem. We had a lot of fun building this, so thank you guys for that. And it was a lot of fun at Istanbul for you guys that were there, and we appreciated your help on all of that. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you as well for participating. I mean, also, this is early days. I mean, Luxo is very early days. We won't come together that young anymore or that small. so there's still the days of more intimacy that just might change faster than you want. But I think we're on a good track here.
We loved using the Rico, for our product, and I think it's going to be a big thing having that in the crowdfunding ecosystem. Yeah. It adds a lot of security around, along with universal profiles. I think that's a good addition to all of that. So
with
nice.
Rico, I mean, definitely make sure that you can. I mean, I saw the explanation between traditional ICO and reversal ICO. I mean, I think there's a bit of change in language you should do just from a legal perspective to not have like the SECs of the world on your back. But apart from that, I think the reversible ICO, I mean, when I created back in the day, the idea obviously was not just for us to fundraise, because obviously it would have been so much easier to just, do a standard ICO. Legally and technically massively easier. But my idea, my vision was always that this will be used in the future by actual projects on Luxo. So it's really great to see you guys, kind of like, carrying the torch in a way, right?
Yeah, we saw that on Medium as well, and we were like, man, it's been a few years, but at least we're bringing it now, so that's the most important part.
Yeah, no, I
It
mean,
wasn't
now
on
it makes
Ethereum,
sense
it's
because
on Luxo.
now there's a place where, people start having universal profiles and projects can start to build and raise funding. The RICO really serves this purpose that you have the ability to have a choice as an investor, as a buyer of a token. You can kind of see, hey, is this really playing out? And that also puts the projects more on the responsibility to actually deliver, right? And not just like, cash in a bunch of money and then, run. So I think security by design, that's what we have to show also to regulators, because that's the only way of how this space can really grow big. It's security by design and not security because of some extra fine print, 50 page of fine print on some contracts that then end you up in like a Mt. Gox bankruptcy proceeding that takes 20 years to conclude and with nothing left. That's no security. Security by design is better if you can do it right. So I think the RICO is going in this direction.
Thank you guys once again, and yeah, we'll be sure to fix up our language for that. We'll be launching on testnet within 2 months or so we'll be in touch, all of you guys.
Amazing. I mean, I see a lot of awesome projects I mean, this is definitely, when we compare to the previous hackathons, maybe in the first was like 2-3 good ones. Out came Universal Page, then in the second there was like already like, around 5, and now I see almost like 10 plus projects that I would definitely see will exist beyond this hackathon. And that's very exciting to see, getting real projects out that start Luxo native. All right. Anyone else? Sam, you want to say something?
Just want to say appreciate you guys. Appreciate for bringing us all together through the hackathon and through developing Luxo. And at Canvasland, we really resonate with the notion that for developing, things beyond just finance, decentralized finance kind of things. Because I think Universal Profile and Luxo really targeting the rest of the populations, not just people who know how to, use financial instruments and all those things. And we're here to build more consumer applications, things for users to have fun on. And I think the Luxo community definitely, Keys, DAO, and Ping Poo Production, MetaHeads, and all, and the rest. They're all creative people, and I think Luxo has a lot of flair and very good vibes. So, just want to say something, and thank you guys. Yeah.
Thank you. I fully agree with you 100%. I mean, there's still a lot a long way to go, a lot of things to build, but I think we're on a really great path forward. And it's going to be very fun to watch, a wild ride. I just want to get, we have everything out of the door, but now it starts in more of a polishing phase. And there's also a lot more things that we're going to build. Universal profiles will be the universal everything, and there will be a lot of cool things going forward.
Yeah, and you are very forward speaking as well. So I think the entire community likes that.
Well, there's a lot of plans, but there's a lot of work also, and I do also need a bit of a break. So I will have a break now at Christmas. So guys, don't expect the moon tomorrow. It's Christmas. Everybody go to their homes and hang out with your families, okay?
And my final word would just say also thank you for the organization, Jonathan, Clara, and also the team at BuildUP. So yeah, thanks. It's a long process to organize everything, and yeah, it's nice that comes to an end, and we have this call. So yeah, thanks to you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jonathan and Clara, for doing the background work here, and everyone else involved. I mean, there's so much that goes into making a hackathon, and doing all of this. So it's some serious some serious work. And it's also amazing to see so many people here in this completely new community. I mean, amazing stuff. How many? 114. Well, I can't read the number. Now it's 85. Yeah, we were like around 120 something.
Yeah, at the peak. And by the way, we will have the recording up on YouTube soon, and then also a Medium article just summarizing all the different projects that won the prize. So watch out for that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's going to be a really cool community spaces hosted by Fawn, Hugo, and Clara tomorrow as well. So watch out for that. Yeah, discussing all the different projects that were on part of the hackathon. So.
Which time, Jonathan? You want to mention the time?
I believe it was at 5 p.m. Will do.
I think it's 5 p.m. CT.
We've made
Let me check.
Live, so.
Yeah, 5 p.m. CT.
Yeah.
Twitter space. Awesome.
Okay, cool. Thanks everyone, and see you around on Twitter or on anywhere.
Thank you so much, guys.
Have a good night, Luxo fan.
Bye bye. Thank you.